Welcome to Ilagan Whiteboard Friday, where we look at complex legal and compliance issues in a simple to do ways. This series is brought to you by Ilagan, your partner and provider of end-to-end business services.
Hello and welcome to Ilagan Whiteboard Friday, where we look at various tax and compliance related issues in a user-friendly fashion. Today we will look at what it takes to start and run a software services or a product or a SaaS kind of a company. So once you have got incorporated, so software services or product company, first you should look at defining your what is your target market. Most of times we are looking at an international market as well as a domestic market. So if you are doing business internationally, you would need a license, something called import-export code, which many of the people are not aware, and it's a very crucial and important license. You would also need things like service tax, VAT and stuff. So VAT would be needed in case if you are selling a product as a package, as a packaged product kind of thing, then VAT comes, otherwise VAT most of the time will not come. So talk to an expert to find out what are your applicable set of licenses depending on the activities. Generally, if you are just a service provider, service tax. If you have an international customer or if you do business internationally, IEC would come into picture. To know more about these licenses, you can also look at our other videos which covers these topics in much more detail. Now, a software company can be of multiple types. It can be purely a services unit. It can have your own product, so which you are selling it to the customers. It can be a SaaS model, or it can also be a PaaS model. So, or it can be a mixture of all these things. So let's look at what are the legal contracts and NDAs that you generally enter into. So the legal contracts are needed whenever you are providing any services to the customers. So with the customers you would have software development agreement. You would also need NDAs before you get onto the detailed and required terminologies. So a legal contract is important because that defines the scope of what you are going to do, how it would be, what are the payment terms, and NDAs are important. You have to also decide if you are trying to raise any money from any investor for your company. If you are trying to raise money, then there is a lot of other things. A great accounting practice, very good compliance structure, good and global practices for legal, software development methodologies and other related requirements are needed. So fundraising, generally a services company very rarely goes for fundraising. Fundraising scenarios are more associated with products, SaaS or a PaaS kind of a company. But services companies also go for it. It's just that the valuations could be a little lower than other lines of business. So we also have covered some amount of how and when to raise money. You can check out those videos as well. Regular compliances is very important whether you raise money or you don't raise money. The legal structure, the compliance structure in India is going towards a lot of e-governance. So any non-compliance issues could come back to bite you at a very hard way in a later date. So it's always important to know what all compliances are needed and to follow them. This could include like payment of taxes, filing of various returns, providing details to the government, taking right set of licenses, maintaining all records, all accounting systems. So these are some of the regular compliances that you should be looking at. You should also define what all payment channels you would use. You might have been aware that PayPal is an internationally accepted channel, but recently RBI disallowed making payments for Indian companies through PayPal. So how you are making payments, again if you are paying to any vendors, then proper taxes has to be deducted. If you are receiving payments, you can define your payment channels like PayPal, payment gateways, check, cash. So all modes of payment are acceptable. Try to avoid as much cash transactions as possible because generally cash is always disputable item. So payment channels needs to be defined. Since you are primarily offering your various products and services through the web channel, Terms of use and privacy policy gains significant momentum. So this defines your relationship with all your other stakeholder, whoever is coming to your website to use either a SaaS thing or even if you are selling product or PaaS. So that time, so you should again talk to an expert and find out what would be a good way of devising terms of use and privacy policy. It's not a great idea to just copy and paste because every company offers things in a different fashion. You may have custom different policies. No two companies generally follow a same policy, and some of these things are generally captured in terms of use and even privacy policy data. So it's not a great idea to just copy and paste from any successful company or a competitor's company. Good to talk to an expert. You should, if you are operating into say product services, or if you have any refund policies, in case what are be the support policies or refund policies, that also you should define and put it up on the website. So these are few things that takes to run a company. Apart from that, the normal stuff like accounting, it's not as complex, but good to have a professional set of people looking at it. So accounting, compliances, hiring people, human resource management, all those things are general. We are just covering the things which is more related towards tax and compliances issues. That's it on running a software or a product company, services or a product company. Feel free to drop us an email to support@elagan.com for any queries that you may have. You may also check out our extensive knowledge base at elagan.com/kb. Thank you.